Thanks for tuning in. Ham Talk Live will be on the air shortly. Please stand by. Thanks for tuning in. Ham Talk Live will be on the air shortly. Please stand by. This episode of Ham Talk Live is brought to you by Tower Electronics. For connectors, cables, and more, call 920-435-2973 or visit pl-259.com. And by the Ham Station. Get your new radio or antenna by calling 800-729-4373 or go to hamstation.com.
It's Ham Radio.
Hey, good evening, everyone. This is Ham Talk Live, episode number 14, live from Dayton, Hamvention, recorded live on Thursday, May 19th, 2016. I'm your host, Neil Rapp, WB9VPG, and thanks for tuning in to this episode of Ham Talk Live. Tonight on the show, it's all about the Dayton Hamvention. We're going to take your calls live in just a few minutes. Last week on the show, Tim Duffy, K3LR, was here to talk about Contest University. We had a great time there at Contest University today, so you should make plans to attend that next year. Also, don't forget you can watch some of those sessions online from Contest University today. That's at contestuniversity.com. And if you missed the show, you can download it anytime at hamtalklive.com. or on Spreaker, iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, TuneIn, or YouTube. Tonight we want to take your calls as always, so in just a few minutes be ready to call in. You can call us on Skype. The username is Ham Talk Live, or by telephone, the number is 812-NET-HAM1. That's 812-638-4261. And it's all about your calls tonight, so we want to have you call in and talk to us, and we have a live studio audience here at the Spring Hill Suites near the Dayton Mall at 417 North Springboro Pike, so we want to get as many people on the air as possible. We're coming to you live from the lobby of Spring Hill Suites. We're interviewing the audience live on the show, giving some stuff away, having some surprise guest appearances, and taking some calls from listeners, talking about your favorite part of Hamvention. If you're on the road to Dayton, we'd love for you to call in with your hands-free device, or maybe exit for a few minutes so that you can join us. Or if you can't make it to Dayton this year, give us a call and tell us your favorite Hamvention story. You can also tweet us at Ham Talk Live. We do have a few announcements we need to get out of the way before we get started. First of all, the Ham Talk Live t-shirts are finally available. We have those here on display at our live broadcast this evening. And the store is available online. We have the shirts, a few of the shirts available tonight, but if you order online with shipping and everything, it's $20. And that order is going to go in on May 31st. So you've got until May 31st to order your Ham Talk Live t-shirt. Just go to our Facebook page or the Twitter feed or the show schedule on hamtalklive.com, and we'll have a link to the online store to order. Also, don't forget the Voice of America Museum of Broadcasting is having a very special open house on Saturday night. That's between 6:30 and 9 p.m. Details are at wc8voa.org. And it's a great chance to tour the former Voice of America transmitter site and check out the vintage radio collection and complete Drake ham radio collection as well. WC8VOA will be on the air from the museum as well. So if you're in the area, please check that out on Saturday night. Tonight's show is all about celebrating Hamvention, so we're going to start off by sharing one of my favorite Hamvention stories. My best friend Eric, N9KDB, and I were making our annual trip to Hamvention, and as we walk into the main arena, we hear this Morse code in the background, which really isn't unusual for Hamvention. But after we finished in the main arena, we went out to the hallway to go to some of the other buildings that surround the main arena, and we found this guy just blasting this cassette tape. And this tells you how long ago that was. It was a cassette tape. He was blasting away on this huge boombox, and it was Morse code set to music. And we laughed and laughed and laughed. And we stopped to talk to the guy, and we were so fascinated that Eric had to buy one. And so we just had to get one for the sheer novelty of it. It's called Rhythm of the Code. Here's a little bit of the Rhythm of the Code.
Soon you'll know the rhythm of the code. A dit is a dot, a da is a dash. The rhythm of the code. Alpha. Da. Bravo. Da, 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 da. Charlie. Da, 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 da. Delta. Da, da, da. Echo. Da. Foxtrot. Da, 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 da.
Okay, so you kind of get the idea that it's very repetitive. But that's the whole idea, is if you listen to that over and over and over and over and over and over again, you learn the code, and it actually works. So we kept hearing it every single time we'd go down the hallway, and it was one of those things that you just kind of love and hate at the same time. It really stuck in your head, and we found ourselves playing it on the way home in the car. And some of my students over the years have asked about Morse code, and in fact, including our assistant producer back in Bloomington, Nick. And I would refer them to this song as a starting point to learn code. So it is available on YouTube. We'll post a link to that on our Facebook page and our Twitter feed if you need to find that, or you can just search for it. So just a few weeks ago, I looked it up and found the guy who created this. His name is Phil Kawa, K-A-1-W-J-Q. And Phil was nice enough to give us permission to use it on the show today. And he said he sold a lot of those tapes that year, but also created a lot of enemies. So thanks to Phil. And if you want to learn some Morse code, there's a great way to start. So I hope you'll call in and share your Hamvention stories. Give us a call at 812-NET-HAM1. We'll be back with your calls right after this word from the Ham Station right here on Ham Talk Live.
This episode of Ham Talk Live is brought to you by the Ham Station. For 35 years, the Ham Station has brought new and used radios, antennas, accessories, and equipment to the amateur radio community. Give Jeff or Dan a call at 1-800-729-4373 or order online at hamstation.com. Hamstation carries all the major brands like ICOM, Yaesu, and Kenwood. Shop from a wide selection of radio scanners, MFJ accessories, Heil Sound products, Mirage and Ameritron amplifiers, Cushcraft antennas, and more. Easy online shopping and fast shipping are waiting for you at hamstation.com or call 1-800-729-4373. The Ham Station, proud to sponsor this episode of Ham Talk Live.
You're listening to Ham Talk Live with Neil Rapp. Hey baby, what's your sign? What's your call sign?
The Ham Station has you covered for both new and used equipment. Give Dan or Jeff a call at 1-800-729-4373 or go to hamstation.com. Be sure to listen to the show every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time right here on hamtalklive.com. Also check out our Facebook page and Twitter feed. Just search for Ham Talk Live. Tonight's show is about celebrating the event that is the Dayton Hamvention. We'd like to get as many of you on the show as possible. We have some people here in the lobby of Spring Hill Suites with us right now. And some of the folks are on the way to Dayton, and some folks can't make it here for one reason or another. But regardless, we want to hear from you. So tell us your favorite event during Hamvention, what you absolutely, positively can't leave without buying, or just your favorite Hamvention story from the past. We don't have a scheduled guest this evening, so we have plenty of time to take as many calls as we can. Doesn't have to be long, but give us a call and join the fun. 812-NET-HAM1. 812-NET-HAM1. Or you can Skype us at Ham Talk Live, and we already have two very special guests with us on Skype. So, Andy, K9AWM, are you there?
I am, Neil. Good evening, I guess, at this point.
Okay, so Andy, you're calling in. You're on your way over here to Dayton, and you're in Richmond. Is that right?
Yeah, we're staying at one of the hotels here in Richmond, Indiana, and we were hanging out in the lobby and listening to the show, and I thought we'd call in and say hello this evening.
Well, thanks for giving us a call. We really appreciate that, Andy. And I was wondering if you could do a little reporting for us.
well, maybe.
Okay. First of all, I was wondering how many cars are in the parking lot with antennas?
There actually are several. We were checking out some of the antennas as we were making our way back in after supper earlier this evening, and seeing a lot of out-of-state license plates as well. So, it's there's quite a few porcupine mobiles out in the parking lot here in Richmond tonight.
Okay, now one of the things that you got to remember when you're driving in Dayton is if you go down Main Street, they have these electric trolley lines that hang above Main Street. And there's been more than one incident of somebody with one of those Texas bug catcher antennas that forgets about that when they're driving on Main Street. That is not a good idea.
It doesn't sound like it.
Yeah, it's not a good idea. Not a good idea at all. Okay, so what's the furthest license plate that you've noticed in Richmond?
Oh gosh, what's the furthest license plate we've seen today, guys? I'm sitting here with we saw a W0 at supper earlier today, so that's probably the furthest out.
So was that Colorado? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was out in that area somewhere. I don't remember exactly where it was, but it was a good piece of driving no matter where it was coming from.
Yeah, we have an audience member from Texas in the room here at the hotel. So a lot of people driving in. Okay, so one more question here, Andy, before you go, and then we've got Dr. Scott Wright on the line. So tell us about dinner tonight. What was the atmosphere at the dinner? Did you see any hams? Did you have ham?
I had a great atmosphere at dinner. We went to one of the local restaurants here in Richmond and actually did see a few hams. We checked into our local net back in Indiana tonight, all on via Echo Link tonight, and I got some interesting looks from the waiter and some of the other people around us. We were all on our phones, all talking to the same place. It looked kind of odd to have five guys all on the phone at the same time.
So did you have ham for dinner?
No. We had steak, of course.
Oh, steak. But it's not ham. It's Hamvention.
No.
We had some guys in here last night.
Ham, this weekend.
Yeah, we had some guys in here last night that had no idea what ham radio was. And so one of my students, Ryan, who's helping me out here tonight, was explaining what ham radio was. And then I chimed in and said, well, it's just a bunch of people sitting around eating ham.
Yeah, I'm sure they bought that.
Yeah, they did. What was it that he said he thought it was? A potato eating contest. How he got ham radioed to be a potato eating contest, I have no idea. Well, Andy, thank you so much for giving us a call live on the scene in Richmond, Indiana, right on the border between Indiana and Ohio. And we look forward to seeing you tomorrow at Hamvention.
Indeed, we'll look you up. You were saying, what I couldn't leave without. I can't leave without one of those Ham Live T-shirts.
All right. Well, we'll have to take care of that. All right, Andy. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much, Neil.
All right. 812-NET-HAM1 is the number. And we're going to go next to Dr. Scott Wright. And when I last saw my friend Dr. Scott Wright, he was all dressed up, suit and tie, going off to some fancy party. Are you there, Scott?
Good evening, Neil. Nice to talk to you tonight, and it was great to see you and all of those outstanding students from Bloomington South High School today. What a radio club you have, and what a supportive group of adults who came with the students. What a great put on work attire. The contest went off to the ARRL banquet tonight.
Yeah, so tell us about the ARRL banquet.
The ARRL has a banquet every day to promote support, philanthropic support to the league for all of the activities of ham radio. We had about 250 people tonight from across the world. Stations from Japan, stations from Germany, and several hams from outside of the United States, other North American countries, and then a large group of people from North America. And we had the privilege tonight of hearing for the first time Tom Gallagher, the new CEO of the ARRL, talk about his vision. And he had an exciting new announcement that I think you and your listeners are going to be really happy to hear about.
Very good. So do you have anybody
tonight
lined up for us tonight?
Well, I don't. We're on the bus, actually, headed back to the hotel. So I don't. But let me tell you what Tom Gallagher talked about tonight. He has called for the first time to the National Association of Amateur Radio, the ARRL, to develop a practical curriculum focused on high school-age students to introduce them to radio activities, ham radio in general. And he asked tonight if anyone would step forward to fund the program, the curriculum. He offered to name the curriculum after that and to make them an honorary publisher of QST. So we're all excited and hoping that someone will step up to the plate to do, Neil, what you have been doing at Bloomington South with a curriculum that will appeal to 21st century students, who are very engaged in social media, rapid-fire digital communication. In fact, Tom tonight urged the membership of the league to get active on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, you name it, any social media platform. And he also challenged us to grow the ARRL from 150,000 to 225,000 members in the next 5 to 8 years. What do you think about that?
I think that's a very worthwhile goal. I am very much in favor of that, and I think that the education initiative sounds like a wonderful idea, and of course that's near and dear to my heart because I've been doing that kind of thing. But I think that's a very wise decision. I like that.
Well, I would encourage any of your listeners to your great radio program or on Twitter to find Tom Gallagher. And if they're following me, I follow him now. And to just let him know how useful Twitter can be to talk about ham radio activities, whether it's a new DX spot that has appeared or a new achievement by a school club or just something new in ham radio that you're doing that interesting, innovative, exciting, or really just serving the public. So I hope that those who follow Ham Talk Live on Facebook and Twitter will do the same to the league and to Tom, and help me and others promote communication via Twitter to reach the next generation of ham operators. In case you're wondering, there was no ham tonight at the banquet for the ARRL.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering that.
Item only.
Okay.
And I know that you were very interested in whether the desserts were either a plus or a minus. And I've been to 5 or 6 of these events in the last few years. And tonight is a 5-star event.
All right.
They outdid themselves tonight. So.
All right. Well, it sounds like the ARRL put on a nice event there, and some new initiatives, and trying to raise some funds for those. So it sounds like a great time, Scott. Thanks so much for being there to report on that for us and give us a call, and great to see you today.
Neil, great to see you. And I just have to put a plug in case you haven't. There's at least one Bloomington South student speaking tomorrow at the Youth Forum at Dayton. And anyone interested in seeing your great work and what exciting things students are doing, just make an effort to stop by and see the presentation. And you may want to share the YouTube video link for some of your student presentations to the Bloomington Club, because you really have a strong, good, mature group of students, Neil. Congratulations again. And it's a pleasure to be on the show one more time. I'll say 73 and 75 and catch up with you at the Hamvention.
All right, Scott. Thank you for doing that. And yeah, Maria Lisandro, KD9BUS, is going to speak at the Instructor Forum. That's Friday morning at 10:30. So she will also make an appearance at the Youth Forum on Saturday. But yeah, if you get a chance, stop by and check out that talk. And we've got another special guest coming up, but it is time to take a break. So we will return to Ham Talk Live after this word from Tower Electronics.
This episode of Ham Talk Live is brought to you by Tower Electronics. Tower Electronics has been the Ham's dime store since 1978, bringing connectors, antennas, cables, and other parts to the world. Scott and Jill travel the country bringing their store to you at Hamfest, but you can also order online at pl-259.com or by calling 920-435-2973. Stock up on those supplies like PL259 and end connectors, audio cables, mobile antennas, and ham sticks. Their silver-plated end connectors are even in use on the International Space Station. Tower Electronics is a dealer for MFJ, Comet, Daiwa, OPEC, Workman, and Ham Pro Technologies. Tower Electronics, online at pl-259.com, proud to sponsor this episode of Ham Talk Live.
Look for me at Dayton. I'll be the one wearing the Yesu hat. You're listening to Ham Talk Live with Neil Rapp.
We'd like to thank Tower Electronics for sponsoring the show. Scott and Jill and their team are ready for you, both at their booth inside. They're at the North Hall, starting with 173, and their space outside is starting with 743. Just look for the big yellow blimp with the red fins overhead, or if you're not here at Hamvention, visit their website, pl-259.com. It's time for more of your calls. Give us an audio call on Skype at Ham Talk Live, or if Skype isn't your thing, 812-NET-HAM1 is the telephone number. 812-NET-HAM1. Well, we have another special guest on the line with us this evening. You've heard her voice occasionally on the liners here on Ham Talk Live. In fact, you just heard her voice a few minutes ago. And the person with that amazing voice is joining us live tonight. It's Lee Morgan. Lee is from Ohio. And while we're kind of in the neighborhood anyway, she was going to try to be here. But her day job's kind of getting in the way. So she's live on the phone with us this evening, and she does some voice work for a variety of video games, radio stations, podcasts, and all kinds of things. So a shout out to Lee, and if you'd like to get her information to do some recording for you, you can message us here at the show, and we'll get that back to you. So Lee, good evening.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. And I think I'm better now, and I think the audience is better now after hearing that.
So how are you enjoying Ohio?
Oh, it's been great. We've had a great day today. We went down to the Crown Plaza for a workshop on contesting, and I know you're not real familiar with ham radio, but it's a thing where you just have a set amount of time and you try to talk to as many people as you possibly can from as many different places as you can. And so there's a lot of strategy going on today. So I had some of my students with me and some friends with me, and so we've had a great time. We're looking forward to the convention starting tomorrow.
I was actually planning to try to go tomorrow, but I've got to work.
Yeah, now, you were telling me that you've got some relatives that may get to go. Is that going to work?
My father-in-law is going to try to make it. He has dialysis, so we're not too sure yet if he's going to or not.
Well, I hope he can do that. And I was just seeing on the news a while ago that they're estimating that Hamvention puts $12 million into the economy every year into this area. So it's a big deal. So I hope he can go, and I thank you for giving us a call and recording all these liners for us. You always do a great job, and if anybody out there needs some voice talent, why we will definitely get you in touch with Lee.
And it doesn't have to sound like this either.
Yeah. Yeah, she's got several different voices that she does. So tell us just real quick here, what's one of your recent projects that you've been working on?
I've been doing this web novel. It's called Eternia, and I've got a few different voices in there.
Great. Well, we'll have to check that out. Well, thanks for calling, Lee. I appreciate it. It's good to talk to you.
And it was nice chatting with you.
All right. Take care.
You too, Neil.
All right. Thanks. 812-NET-HAM1 is the phone number. And we want to give a shout out to Miguel Orama, WZ1Y. He says hello via Twitter. And he can't make it to Hamvention this year, but he's listening and missing out. So, hi, Miguel. Good to hear from you, and thanks for listening to the show. Okay. Kevin, why don't you come on up here, and we'll get you on the air. And Nick, if we've got somebody else on the line, let me know here. But we're gonna get Kevin on here. Kevin surprised me and walked in a while ago. This is K9 HX Kevin Berlin from the greater Terre Haute, Indiana area, or as I call it, Terrible Haute. But anyway, Kevin surprised me and walked in tonight. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm delighted to be here, Neil, and I was quite surprised too to walk through the front door of the motels we were checking in tonight and see that your broadcast was going to originate from here. Hamvention is always a special time of year for me. I was thinking on the way over, I think this is the 40th year that I have attended. I think the first one we came to was in 1976, and it's been a long time. A lot of things have happened over those years, and a lot of good memories, and some that aren't so good. But all in all, I keep coming back. It's one of the greatest events I think that we have to enjoy in ham radio.
Oh, that's fun. Now, 1976 was when I got my license, and in July 17th, I'm going to hit 40. So I'm not sure what kind of celebration we're going to do for that, but we'll have to figure out something. So you just happened to land here at the same place and saw the signs out front, and here you are.
Yeah, pretty much. My wife is always in charge of the hotel reservations. Last several years, we've came over for the entire weekend and vended in the flea market. And just by chance, we happened to land here at this hotel, and was very pleased to see that you were here this evening, and we'd have a chance to come at least see the show live. So it's been pretty cool.
Well, I'm glad you stopped by, glad you came, and I'm sure I will pass along a hello from Eric, because I know he'll say that. And I have dinner with Pete tomorrow night, so I'm sure he'll send along his welcomes as well. So that's Kevin, K9HX. Thanks for coming. And Kevin, real quick here. Now, Kevin's a broadcast engineer and two-way guy and all that kind of thing. So I want to know, what's the one thing that you cannot leave without this weekend?
Boy, that's a good one. What I always come to Dayton to buy, I guess, are antenna connectors. You can never have too many connectors, and you can buy them off of eBay or any place like that, but you don't know what the quality are going to be. So you can come over here and lay your hands on them, look at them, see if they're decent or not. So that's going to be my number one, is to go home with some decent antenna connectors.
Now, you should check out a session from this morning. So we went to a session at Contest University, and they actually gave us a PL259 connector, everybody in the place. And there was a 45-minute presentation on PL259s and how to wrap them and what sealant to use and how to do all that. And it should be on the archive on Contest University, so you'll have to check that out. Well, we've got another familiar face with some Terre Haute ties, but that's been a long time ago, or Brazil, actually. Brazil, Indiana, not Brazil, the country. It's Corey Shields, KB9JHU, and he was a guest on our show just 3 weeks ago, I think it was. And he's going to be talking at the Tapper Forum in the morning about the Satnogs, and he's wearing his Satnogs t-shirt and everything. How's it going, Corey?
It's going good, Neil. Thanks a lot for the opportunity here. It's I had to go back to the beginning of the show. One of my memories of Dayton was might have been around the same year with the Rhythm of the Code. I actually bought one of those tapes, and mid-'90s, I think it was. Took it home, thought this is gonna be it. This is how I'm gonna learn Morse code. And a week into it, my brother was so sick of it that he snuck into my room, stole the tape, threw it away. So if you can stomach the repetition of the music, then yes, it could be a good thing. Yeah, my other big Dayton memory contribution, I think it was that same year, some other guys from the Terre Haute area. Kevin may remember George, 9LKG, Ben, and 9OPJ. We were borrowing an RV from a mutual friend. So we were going to sleep in this RV. Didn't really put much thought into where we were going to park the RV to sleep in it. So we started at the Shiloh Springs Mall, which only lasted about an hour before we were kicked out of there, and bounced from parking lot to parking lot on a cold night, late at night, until finally ending up in a used car lot where we looked like we really fit in. And that was our lodging for the night. But hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Oh, that's a great story. I like that. My friend Barry, KE40XZ would bring his RV, and we'd hang out and copy computer games half the night. But yeah, one time the police came and said, "Hey, you can't park here," and so we always have to tease him about that. He actually should have been able to park there, but the police showed up, knocked on his door, So this is a great story. So come see Corey tomorrow morning. That's at 9:15, and then you're on at 9:45-ish. 9:30. Okay, so that's the Tapper Forum, talking about Satnogs, talking about some ground station satellite receiving. So, Corey, thanks for stopping by tonight. Now, are you staying here too, or did you just intentionally come by?
Oh, I intentionally came by. Our hotel is actually conveniently just right around the corner here, so we are still in Miamisburg, and it was a quick hop over there. So, but thanks for the shout out for tomorrow's forum. Yeah, first thing in the morning, Tapper Digital Forum. I'll be there. If you're not able to make it, but you're still coming to Dayton, we have a booth as well in the North Hall. That is the hall facing the Mendelssohn's tent, and come see our 3D printed open source satellite station there.
All right, very good. Thank you. That's Corey Shields, KB9JHU from Brown County now, just across the line from Bloomington. We want to thank him for coming over tonight, and wish you luck in the morning. And we had a caller or two, and Nick tells me that we lost them. So my apologies. Sometimes Skype doesn't cooperate with group calls, and that's the way we have to bring everybody in so that we can do this remotely. So if you got cut off, call back. We'll try to get you in here. We've got about 5 minutes left in the show, and Dave, you want to come up for a minute? This is Dave, KA7RRA, and he hasn't heard the show before, but came in and bought a T-shirt and has been sitting here. So Dave, tell us where you're from and what you're looking to do at Hamvention this weekend.
I'm from the Lake Stevens, Washington area. In the last three years, I've driven down, but this year I ran out of vacation time, and I'm looking to buy a cigarette lighter plug for one of my radios, and a new Lido mount for my FT857 Delta. And I remember one of the ham stories. I got several of them. Is that, well, I'll say this: last year I drove down, and I got here kind of late. I was following the GPS, and when I got down close to the area, the GPS was having me go all over everywhere. And I later looked at the map and realized if I would have just gone on the freeway and taken a right off the freeway, I could have saved a couple hours coming down. But it had me going through all these stinking these little towns in the middle of the night, about 3-4 o'clock in the morning, and I only got like maybe an hour or two of sleep before the ham convention started. So I was real happy with my GPS.
Yeah, you got to watch those GPSs. They'll take you on all kinds of wrong turns, and they just built a new interstate in the area where I live, and I'll be driving down the road, and it says I'm in the middle of a field somewhere. It has no idea that there's a road there. So, well, we've got another call here. But Dave, thanks for stopping by, and hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great time at Hamvention this weekend. And there's another old friend, and I guess he is old now, but I probably shouldn't say that. But we've got another one on here.
I'm old only relative to like trees that were planted during the Civil War. I'm actually very young.
It's Brian Esche. And and do you still have the WB9 QVR?
Yes, I do. I actually tried for a vanity call a couple of years ago because I wanted something like N9EE for CW, but I didn't get what I wanted, so I stuck with WB9 QVR. It's probably a good thing because everyone knows me as the Q anyway. So if I had changed it, it just wouldn't have worked. So
that's why I've kept mine all these years. It's it's a tongue twister of a call, but I've had it for so long, and yeah, everybody knows you as the Q. So
exactly. I have no other identity. It's strictly the Q. And I just wanted to give you a little, sort of behind the scenes information about the rhythm of the code. Very few people know this, primarily because I'm making it up, but it was actually the number one requested song at Studio 54 for a number of years.
Very nice.
Yes. It unfortunately it probably led to the demise of Studio 54, but just a little point of fact that you probably aren't going to find on Wikipedia. I thought I'd throw that in.
Oh, I'm glad you did. I'm going to have to talk to Phil about that.
That's right. He may not even know because again, I'm completely lying, but it's just he might be interested in that. So well, Neil, it's good. It's good to know that you're live over at Hamvention and that you're going to buy everything that I need and deliver it to me personally. That's the deal, right?
Yeah, that's the deal. I need to make a trip to Evansville, so
Hey, we got that
Newburgh. Newburgh.
Yeah, well, Evansville sort of claims this. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But we got I-69 now that just sort of splits the difference between Evansville and Newburgh. I'll even save you the trouble. I'll meet you like out on the highway and just transfer all the goods over to my vehicle. So I'm just that nice a guy.
Okay. Well, just send me the list. We'll get it. We'll get it going. I don't know. Well, you guys don't have Kroger down there. Kroger's got this new thing now that you can order all your groceries online, and you just go pick them up the next day. They bring them out to your car and everything.
Wow. No, I need to do that. But, just for fun, I think I would order like a Snickers bar and nothing else. And just to see them carry that out to my car. I think that would be fun. Does that... What they need is that service at Hamvention with like a drive-up window for those people who, it's a long walk. You can just order the stuff and then go to the Hamvention drive-up window. Yeah. They hand it out to you.
And drive up in the scooter.
Exactly. Now, it might be a little tough with one of those, 100-foot Tri-X towers, to get that through the drive-up window, but it's worth a try. So maybe you can work on that for next year.
I think that's a great suggestion. I think I need to call Jim Teeterman and tell him that we need to do that.
Exactly.
All right. Brian, thanks so much for calling. Good to hear from you. We're out of time. So
all right. Have fun there and tell everyone I said hello, even those people that don't know me as the Q.
All right. Brian Esche, WB9 QVR from Newburgh. Thanks for joining us. Well, guys, gals, anybody else? We're out of time. That's a wrap for this week's Ham Talk Live. I'd like to thank all my guests and all the callers, the listeners out there in cyberspace, and invite you all back next Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time when 2013 Newsline Young Ham of the Year and my former student, Patrick Lysandru, KC9UUS, will be here to catch us up on what he's doing with SpaceX, satellite building, and the Young Ham of the Year award. Assuming we can squeeze him in because he's only home for like 3 days before he goes back to SpaceX. So for a list of all of our upcoming guests, visit hamtalklive.com. A big thank you to Ryan Cutshaw, KD9DAB. Woo! We'll get the applause here. Yeah. For being the host here at the hotel. And also to Nick Bauer, KC9GZY, who did a great job producing all the calls this evening back in Bloomington. Couldn't have done it without you. So for now, with assistant producer Nick Bauer, KC9GZY, this is Neil Rapp, WB9VPG, saying 7375 from Dayton, and may the good DX be yours.